I don't see Ari yet. Hold on. Yo, what's up? Sorry, I was running late. Hold on. Water. Yeah, let me know if Ari come in yet. What's up? Rest in peace to my little cousin Jimmy. Rest in peace to my homeboy Fred's father. They both died on Christmas. Crazy right now. Big up to my fam. Big up to James Ellis. Big up to everybody out there who lost someone. I don't even know how you can go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like with my grandmother, I lost my grandmother. It was devastating. You know, but my cousin lost his sister 2 years ago in a car accident last Christmas, and now he just lost his brother to a heart attack this Christmas. So rest in peace to my cousin's family. Hold your head up, D. Word up. Thank you so much, y'all. Appreciate that. Thank y'all. Yep, we lost Ecstasy. That was a huge one. For those who don't know about Houdini, there's Run DMC, then there's Houdini. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first really big tour was Run DMC, Houdini, and Beastie Boys. So that was, you know, again, people don't look at Houdini as being one of those situations, but, you know, again, there was another two-man group that me and Paris looked at to become great. What's up, Boogie? See you. Hand on the pump, you don't miss nothing. Because we're just waiting on Ari for him to come in and we'll start talking. Yeah, 2020 has been a rough year for a lot of people. Besides the COVID, that was a given. Hey D, I just left you. My daughter, I got here. She's like, I got here fast. Yo, Guru, what up? Can't wait to work with you, man. I gotta get at least one record mixed by you one day. I know I call you all the time and don't be, you know, always fall through, but that Dynamic Duo album, I promise you, you'll want to be involved in that. This album is crazy. I just confirmed Cameron and Joel's about 3 nights ago, before Christmas. But my Dynamic Duo album is I have albums with I did records on all the Dynamic Duos, you know, which I got a new record with Cypress, MOP, Naughty by Nature, Mobb Deep, MOP, UGK, 8 Ball and MJG. I said Cypress Hills, Red and Meth, of course, EPMD. I got brand new Smith & Wesson Conway. Wow, I can't think right now. Brand new Smith & Wesson CNN, Helter Skelter. Well, I got all these Dynamic Duos on one album with all records produced by me, which is crazy. So, look forward to that for the new year. People gonna enjoy that. Trust me. They don't. sound like no dated records. These artists sound like what they sound like. You know, never disrespect them, you know. People always ask the question all the time too. I wonder what people are doing. Let me give you out a little, just a synopsis of what these artists make. These artists, before the COVID, just on the minimum, they do like 80 shows a year. That's a minimum. Some of them, like, you know, Dougie and Biz and them, they do like almost 200, or Talib and them do 200. And the minimum is $10,000 a night. So if you're doing 80 shows at $10,000 a night, how much money is that? So stop looking at these artists saying, I wonder what they're doing. They don't have to do anything. They are really happy. And that's just with me saying $10,000 a night with 80 shows. A lawyer don't make that. A surgeon don't make that. You know, I don't know no fucking, you know, not to curse, but y'all got to ease back on the veterans. You know what I'm saying? So, Ari is okay. I'm ready. Okay. Okay, Ari's coming in. Wait for Ari to come in because he came in under some different type of name. Hey, how am I supposed to be you?
The green-eyed bandit can't stand it. Now listen, man, we could do it this way, but I told everyone to follow because of the other Apple account. Will you let me in on if I come in on that account?
Yeah, what's the name?
It's Nevuary Radio, the show we did.
Okay, well, I didn't see it.
No, it's you didn't. It never came up.
No, do it again. Bye.
Check it out though. Normally I would just stay with you here, but I sit on TV on that account, so I don't want to, you know.
Okay, I got you. Okay, cool. All right.
Nevuary Radio, like 35th and Nevuary. Nevuary Radio. I'm gonna come in.
I got you.
And then everyone we get.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Peace. All right. So Nori's going on. Ari's going on another account that I don't see because people are coming in, so I'm kind of getting confused on what he's might be sending me. All right, do it one more time because I think I saw it, but I wasn't quite sure. It was under something else. Okay, here it is. No, I don't see it. Okay, but how do I go to it? Like, oh, okay, you know what? This is my first, now I know how to do it now. You press the request, the search thing. Okay, okay.
Success.
Yeah, I know how to do it now. Before, I was waiting for it to come up, but it was already there.
What's up, man? Thank you for doing this, and now we got it right. Only because when I tell people stuff on TV, if I'm like, it's on this account, I don't want them to know. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but all right, but how did you get home so fast?
Yo, people always ask me that. I'll be like, that used to happen pre-COVID in New York. I'd go to a restaurant in Brooklyn, and someone would be like, we just were watching you now. How are you here? And
yes. So you got enough, 1 hour is enough to get you home and get relaxed and get on live.
Well, yeah, and I'd be like, the same way you left and came to this restaurant, so did I. You got here after the beat too.
I got you.
Nice to see you, man.
You too, man.
Let me tell the people what it is. We can talk about anything, but I'm coming through right now. My name is Ari Melber. If you're an Erick Sermon fan, and you're like, what is this? I work news, and we do the music, and I just want to announce that I had a childhood dream come true thanks to Erick Sermon, because we just did a co-hosted episode of Nevuary Radio, which I just launched this year with Apple Music. That's why it's on this account. You can follow it at Nevuary Radio. You can follow me, Ari Melber. So we just did a new episode, and I was like, that's cool when people who use Apple, great. But if you don't, Eric was kind enough to say, let's also come on and talk a little bit here, which is free for anyone. So thank you, man. And it's like childhood dreams doing that episode.
Hey, the Fat Joe Busta Rhymes interview was dope too.
So that's my end. How you doing? How you feeling?
Nah, things are good. Like I said, for me, the circumstances of through COVID though. But as far as I'm home with the family, so it's cool there. As long as my surroundings is cool, I'm cool.
Yeah, that's a good attitude. I'll jump into it and say, like, one of the things we got to talk about that I love for people to hear you speak on was because you've done so many different collaborations, and one thing I was learning from you was you were talking about how when you would go into the booth sometimes you would just go with the feelings. Like we were talking about the track with MC Breed and Too Short. Too Short, What the F You Thought.
You saw it on Versus. It did, just for it playing on Versus, it's doing so many big numbers at streaming right now.
Really? That's wild. So tell us when you went in there and that beat comes on, just how you felt, like how that comes out of you.
Yeah, Short came to Atlanta after me. He used to ask me how it is. I'm like, Atlanta's dope. So Short, next thing you know, he moved down there, and he had built a studio way before I did. I'm like, you just got here, But that one night I came through, and it was an idea that was playing. A guy named Shorty B was on the drums. Those was live drums. So the intro, when it went it make me go ooh for some reason,
Like that.
Don't know when.
Said that iconic to fans, but that was just you just going in it.
No. Listen, me, Redman, and Keith, especially me and Redman, we used to sing a lot, like a lot. So we used to hum stuff like that. So I kind of had it in my head, but would never try it on a record. But for some reason, that beat made me do it.
Yeah, but someone in your comments said MSNBC meets Def Squad. Hell yeah! I'm gonna play just the very top so people remember it.
Okay.
It was in Versus, getting that publishing money. I hope if it's back up. I mean, it's like that's one of those things where like, because we would bump that in high school. It was like before you even heard the verse, you're already just
Yeah, and the thing about it so too is the fact that the radio stations just kept bringing it back. Like Funkmaster Flex kept bringing that back.
Yeah.
Before the verse even started, he was bringing that back for at least a minute. That's a long time to bring something back for a minute,
Yeah. One of the things we got to talk about on Nevuary Radio on Apple Music, which again, this is the account I'm on, Ari Melber, so you can follow on there. You can find on Apple Music if you're interested. But I was asking you about a song where I'm only going to say it a certain way. The song "I'm That Blank."
Right.
You're just giving out lessons in being real and telling everyone I'm that blank. I rap under my own name. I live my life. Tell us about a track like that.
No, I mean, I had a studio in my house. So, and everybody's been down in my basement. Scarface, Macy Gray, of course, Brother Meth, the Brat, I had people in my LL Cool J. I was making the album, and for some reason, I was feeling that, nobody has said this, but I was feeling like I was gone from the game for a while. So I want to let people know who I was in case you forgot, kinda. The Roy Jones, you must have forgot, whatever. So, but and Redman happened to be there. And matter of fact, if you listen really close, Redman's doing the ad-libs in the background of that record.
Right.
But that's what the premise of that record was the fact that I felt like I was gone for a while. I was out the game for like 4 years at the time, so I figured I wanted to refresh people who I was.
Right. I'm pulling that up too.
This is a world.
See, that's Reggie.
Premier.
That's Reggie.
Yeah, world squad, baby. What? Premier. 2002. Yeah.
So when you have...
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Okay, see, I got the years mixed up. That was on the React. That's why Reggie was there. That was doing my album after Just Like Music. Okay, yes.
Like Music, which we were talking about with Marvin Gaye and sampled in and played in the Lincoln Lawyer movie with Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
And that movie comes in, it's just like Erick Sermon energy in a whole different context. When you have Keith Murray, you call him Reggie, we know him as Redman, and a lot of the other folks you signed, you were telling us you signed Das Effects.
Right.
What was that period like for you with so many strong artists coming up at a time where there wasn't as quick to market as there is now? People had to really earn their way up.
Yeah, well, we knew, me and Paz had a pulse on what was dope. You know, we knew that we knew what sounded crazy, and we wanted something different because we had K Solo first, and he was very, very lyrical, you know, and Solo was the first one to get signed to Sylvia Rome, and Spellbound had came out. Plus, he was on the third EPMD album the second EPMD album on a song called Knick Knack Paddywhack. And then on the third album, we had introduced Redman. But knowing that we had all these flavors, Das Effects that was something different, like Redman was something different. Like K Solo was something different. All these artists had something about them that was different than anyone. And at that time, you know, EPMD, we felt that we was different too, kinda, and it just worked. But nobody was ever able to do what we did for a long time. We were the first one to have 4 groups on the Billboard charts at the same time that was all signed under us.
Do you feel like Redman and Keith Murray were sort of in that way a precursor to DMX and things getting just even more raw? Because he was raw but mainstream.
Well, Redman was a major impact on a lot of rappers' careers. I don't know about DMX though, but I mean, you never know. But as far as Eminem and them, they'll tell you about Redman. Ludacris, they'll tell you about, yeah, Redman opened my eyes up. He was one person who I looked at as far as emceeing and not giving a fuck.
And you said, yeah, Eminem's favorite rapper, and Eminem's super lyrical in a way that Redman isn't always, because there's so much more energy and swagger there. What is it that it's kind of almost a little bit like sometimes opposites attract, that Eminem's favorite rapper is not a sound that Eminem's necessarily emulating, but more just like he just obviously respects the ferocity.
No. Lyrically, it kind of was though. Like if you go back to the early Eminem and listen to what Redman didn't care what he said, and that's what Eminem liked about that. I guess, you know, like as far as Reggie not caring who he offended and what came out of his mouth.
Okay.
And
not like the rhyme sequence, but you're saying the act.
Oh no, that's not the content.
But you're saying,
and lyrically, how dope Redman was. You couldn't front on that. That's what that's about. So, and Eminem, again, wanted to be the best rapper in the world. You have to look at a lyricist. That's what you call a lyricist. Redman was that.
Respect. Yeah, and that he, as you say, and we love this in artists. I was doing a piece on The Beat tonight about artists that have gotten us through parts of 2020. I think artists who make it clear they're giving us just truth, not truth caveated by what's popular today, not truth mixed with what will sound good about them to promote why they're a good person or not. No, just artistic truth. I think that's always compelling, because it's like, in no way do you think Redman is like, how's this going to make me look? He's just, yeah.
No. Listen, man, we're fortunate to come from an era where it would be nothing like it, Ari, ever in history. I don't care. Listen, man, I think some of the dopest stuff came out later, as far as like, you know, Kendrick, J. Cole would tell you he don't care how he feels. Rick Ross, you know, there's a few people out there who, you know, but mostly the veterans. We come from a different cloth of making music, even R&B, rock and roll, all of it. It was something that was truth. Now we don't, I mean, it's just, again, it's a moment that people are making records for a moment. They're making what they call clout chasing, where there's no. We spoke about money, and of course we had cars and jewelry though, but that wasn't the conversation. You know, wasn't. So right now we like one-sided, where we don't have a balance. It would be cool if we had a balance, but we don't. We only got this here. Right. We have, you know, the conversation down here and the flossing up here. Like there's no hatred in it. The fact that we only got one side, and that's what makes it kind of, you know, not fun too, and not really creative in a way. No matter if you're young or old, if you show a young kid that it could be fun. Like if you show him, check out what hip hop, what lyrics are. Look at what it is to have your own beat or have your own flow. Give him that.
Yeah. Well, and that you're talking about a different era. I mean, we got rappers today, no disrespect, who come on Twitter and try to explain and defend a verse from 3 days ago.
I know.
And
I know.
I'm not, when I say no disrespect, I mean, we may be all living and operating in a world where that's expected of their team, and people say, well, if you're being misconstrued, you got to fix it, this, that, the other. It's like, but in the era you're talking about, I mean, people stood by the bars and culture moved at a different speed. So like 3 days in, man, you don't even know whether it's a great album in 3 days. You need to sit with it.
Yeah, we did. But don't forget, Ari, man, listen, we can go on for hours on this conversation. There would never be nothing like that. And that's, I'm speaking truth, how you speak truth on your show. Don't get me wrong, I have a 15-year-old son who was ratchet. Meaning that he knows every new artist, every new record, all the new stuff that come off the internet, he knows all of them. But he still plays pop, sometimes some Cube, sometimes some Dad. I heard him the other day, something came on, he was playing some Tribe Called Quest. But they know it. They back then everybody went gold and platinum and nobody sounded the same. So don't tell me that you can't do that, because that's what it was. I can name 20 acts right now who had their own identity. Didn't need no, it wasn't, if you what we call biting back then, if I took Ari's flow, I can never come back.
Because
you're ousted from the game.
Right.
You couldn't bite nobody. You couldn't repeat or take somebody's style, flow, and swag. You couldn't do it. It was unheard of.
And the culture at that point, see, when we talk about gatekeepers, sometimes that could be negative when too few people are making too many decisions about who can speak and who can share. There's a flip side, though, which is if the gatekeepers are actual artists like yourselves and people who build and create the culture, sometimes the gatekeepers are going to patrol it and say, no, you're not just going to get away with biting that guy's sound, rushing out the replica, trying to trick people, and then that's the new sound, because then the wrong people are going to be getting credit.
There's no gatekeepers. They're gone.
Yeah.
And I heard DJ Envy said this one time. I was shocked when I heard this. He said that no gatekeeper stepped up early enough. When it was going on, somebody should have said something, and we didn't. I don't want no artists to get me wrong. I'm not saying that y'all should stop what y'all doing. But when you're going on a situation, when you talk about the culture, you can't come in disrespecting it if this is not what you truly are. Every song right now is somebody singing. How can you put hip hop on somebody singing a melody?
And yet Roddy Ricch also slaps. So, you know.
Yes.
But I feel you that it's, especially when it's like, well, when every song, not every, but so many songs, it's like every song is 2 minutes and 5 seconds and everyone's trying to sound like the other guy's hook. And it's like, you know.
I'm going to ask you one thing for you, Ari.
Okay.
You're the only genre who don't got categories. Rock got soft rock, heavy metal, easy listening, all that stuff for it can be. So if Janis Joplin would have heard Britney Spears, she would have been like, hey, that shit ain't no fucking rock and roll. What is that? She had a category to go in. Whatever that's black and sound like what it is under the hip hop category. How do we win? It's a crab in the barrel.
Fair.
I never understood that. You can't win that way.
Well,
we don't got no categories to signify how easy jazz, soft rock. They got categories.
Yep. Big band, soul, R&B.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
Everything, even back then, Mary J. Blige was in the hip hop category. TLC was in the hip hop category. How can you work like that?
Yeah, I'm doing the urban scare quotes. I mean, that goes to the whole Grammy debate, because on the one hand, it's like, fine. I've heard artists say, like, don't wait around for the Grammys to credential you, build up yourself. And I totally hear that. On the flip side, we all work in industries where those prizes matter, right? It matters whether you get an Oscar or an Emmy or a Grammy, and you got Grammys in categories, as you say, that really narrow. First of all, they have a problem with how they select. That's the one conversation. Second, just categorically, to your point, they narrow it to be like, oh, well, if it sounds quote unquote urban black, it's all going to go over here, and then you're all going to compete against each other, and then pop's over here. And it's like, well, if Drake, and I like Drake a lot, people who know me know that, but if Drake is fundamentally a global pop artist, right?
Right.
Black. Why is so much of this over here in rap? It's like, oh, you now every rapper's got to compete with an artist who, by all measures, is obviously a pop artist.
He's Michael Jackson.
So again, I totally take your point on that, which is wild. So what advice though do you give to people who are coming up now?
I think, like, I remember one time ago, a piece of Funk Master Flex on here though too, Ari. Funk Master Flex is on it. Matter of fact, check it out.
Wait, he's in here right now?
Yes. EPMD is on.
I grew up on my Funk Flex mixtapes. That's how I got the first version of Dear Summer I heard was like on a Flex mixtape.
Of course. The best ever did it.
Respect.
Matter of fact, Funk Master Flex has an album coming out, and EPMD is on the album, right? But the album has nobody but all the new artists, the Baby, Lil Baby, Fabio Foreign, and all these new Rebel, all the new acts, right? But Funk Master Flex loved EPMD so much that he's like, if the kids don't know who EPMD is, I'm gonna let them know now on this album. On that album is EPMD and 50 Cent, but the rest of the groups are new. Okay, but yeah, going back to what you should do, I feel that I watched Kanye West in 2000 one time saying he's doing 2004 hip hop when he came out. Now, we knew about Tribe and knew about De La and knew about, 93 to Infinity, Souls of Mischief, Farside. He had the backpack on with a collar up, something that we did already. But the world didn't know. But he told you, I'm doing 94 hip hop, meaning that he was going to do something different, because at that time, it was going to be different to the new era. So what I'm trying to say is, try to do something new and innovative. Even if it comes back from the culture has not been seen in a while. And if you're not doing the culture, do something that's going to keep you here for a long time. This is real scary though, Ari. I feel sorry for the people who are out right now, and I want to see them in the next 10 to 15, 20 years, or 30 years, and see if they have a job. What will they do when that moment is closed and they didn't make music? The reason why all the 60s, 70s, and the Bruce Springsteens and the U2s and the Paul McCartneys and all the R&B acts and all the hip hop rappers can go on the road now, because we was able to make music to last forever. This era didn't. When they get 40 years old, they're not gonna be in this my bitch, hoe, pussy. It won't work. It won't look right. They're older now. So I hope they saved their money and they did some good things for investment, because you won't be able to work. They won't come see you. It won't match no more.
You sound very close to saying you won't be around next year.
Craig Mack, you won't be around next year.
Facts. And you got a real VIP comment section, Eric.
What you mean by that?
I mean, you got people in here. Shout out to Funk Flex. Shout out to Lord
DJ Diamond. Oh no, people, listen, man. I'm even if it's 5 people that we can have a convo with, and somebody learns something from me and you, I'm happy with that.
Respect. And we have I actually don't know how to pronounce the full name, but I know the account handle the ABS IPR, talking about her clients because she works with Future and the baby.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
Respect. Breakbeat.
But everybody watches you, man. Come on now, stop.
No.
Everybody watches you. Everyone.
I'm saying you got people up in here. And I mean, the other thing is, without concerts this year, without touring, right?
Right.
It's been interesting because, you know, we've seen some artists come out, including old school. I mean, I thought the Nas album that came out this year was really strong.
Phenomenal.
I thought, you know, Big Sean seemed to do a lot of growth.
Right.
But we're not in the space where it's the normal thing. So we're not like, and then run and see the show or whatever, right?
Right.
And then there's stuff that got slept on, which is really, because life, we all know this, life is just fickle and it's timing. And like, it's almost crazy to me. I'm going to talk about Jay Electronica, where like people have been waiting.
Oh my God. Yo, Ari, I got to keep giving you props, B, because you be coming out with some shit, but you be with these rappers, you be fucking with them.
It's like a hip hop joke about how long are you waiting on this? He even acknowledged it in the raps about, you know, Nas hit me up. Did he hit me up?
Well, he came.
No, but
he came with the Jay-Z album.
Right, well, this is what I'm saying. I'm just thinking about this as a fan. So the joke is how long we've been waiting for that, right? Like literally years.
Right.
What comes out is deep, lyrical. Jay-Z's like, it's basically a double album, but I mean a co-album, but Jay-Z didn't call it that.
Right.
I don't know what kind of flex that is, where you're like, I did half the album, but I'm not acknowledging it really. But dude, what happened? They dropped this album they've been waiting for years, and within 2 weeks, coronavirus took over America.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Right, it got looked over.
And it was like, dude, I mean,
yeah.
To me, I'm just imagining. Well, again, maybe this is just like what I think about in my spare time. But I'm like, if it had been a normal time and that finally came out, and then it was like Jay-Z and Jay Electronica doing, you know, an appearance here or there, and everyone was all excited. I'm like, maybe time will tell. But I feel like Electronica was denied part of his reception of moment because we got hit with COVID literally within days. Isn't that crazy?
And we waited a long time for that record.
People been
long time.
So timing is a thing for artists too, right? It's just like,
Ari, you bring up something that's nobody want to talk about because a lot of people who got 360s or the majority of people aren't independent. And that's why you see the Taylor Swifts and everybody want to get their publishing back because the streaming is making money hand over fist and they ain't getting as much of it. People are in trouble. There's no touring.
Right.
Everybody, that's their livelihood. Their livelihood is the road.
Right.
So
the road and murder, like whole different world.
So it's a lot of people who are, like I said, for Trump signed that stimulus package this morning. You know, people looking forward to that right now because, you know, and listen, man, I tell people all the time, I've been preaching this forever. You have to have something else to go along with it. Like, I think Puffy would have been good, but he was secure. Besides the Bad Boy publishing, the Ciroc is what's making him a multi-millionaire. 50 Cent Vitamin Water deal is making him a multi-millionaire for him to do what he's doing now. That second thing, you need something second, third, and fourth to be able to push back on, because look what the COVID did.
Well, also we're talking, when people say, you know, I respect a lot of different genres. I listen to a lot of different stuff. Not every genre, though, is a full culture. Some genres are just music, which is fun. Right. Hip hop, okay. What you and these forefathers and these women built is a culture, meaning people want to buy into that. And America's always had this completely contradictory relationship with blackness, because white America wants to be, fascinated with, but also afraid of what are black artists doing? What are they making cool? And then what a lot of corporate America does, and the people who've written about it, and Steve Stout and the Tanning of America and other folks and Jay-Z and Beyonce have tried to build up out of it and say, no, we're going to be the owners, is, let come in, smash and grab that, write a one-time check, try to take that culture and go off and work with it, right? And what you're talking about is like, not every genre can do that, but hip hop is like, of course people want to have a brand associated with it, whether that's clothing or spirits or lifestyle or merch. Merch is just part of presentation. Of course, because this is this great thing. And yet you get back to the root causes of like capitalism and racism and everything that gets in the way of being like, wait a minute, shouldn't the artists who built that have ownership in that? Oh no, that's the exception, not the rule.
I didn't get to it, but I'm glad that everybody just heard Ari speak about what, I didn't know how much time I had to get to that, but again, I felt that anybody that is from the hip hop culture and is not finding a way to eat in here, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you're right. Everyone done took a bite in a piece. And the ones, listen, man, Kool Herc got sick one year. He couldn't pay his doctor bills. There would be none of this. So at the end of the day, the people who should be eating off the culture. That's why, again, I know Dame Dash might be brash, but he's speaking that like that. Like, yo, come on, man. Like, yo, when are we gonna look at this stuff and stop getting robbed and stop being pushed behind the bush and brushed underneath the carpet, knowing like, yo, we deserve to have more than a bite of this culture if you're doing it. Every documentary is white. Every got something to do with a show or TV, whatever. Everything that has been told, the story's been told not by us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand how's that possible. Like, they talk about what they don't like and racism, the whole nine, but without hip hop, Ari is not colorful. The world's not colorful without this, man. I've been going around the world since 1988 for 32 years in every country where they don't speak English, but they like, relax your mind, let your conscience be free, and get down to the sound of EPMD, but you should keep quiet while it wouldn't be as colorful, man. Every TV show you watch on TV, every commercial that's being sold, every merchandise, everything from me watching my kids grow up to Disney Channel, everything on there was hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah, when hip hop's pop. I mean, that's what's so funny now when it's like, this is pop, this is the pop mainstream, and then you're talking.
Well, it's been that way. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Gin and Juice was a pop record. The Chronic was a pop record to people. It was a pop record because it blew up. It was so popular. Russell Simmons told me in 1988, he says, Eric, now when this curtain pulls back, I was in Nassau Coliseum, about 17,000. He said, when the curtain pulled back, don't be surprised that when you look out in our audience, all those white folks got EPMD shirts on. Meaning that your audience, the record consumer, 75% of the consumer of music is white America.
Right.
Now, coming from where we're coming from, in the neighborhood, you wouldn't think that that will be what you would see. But no, the music is the tickets are bought by white America. It's been that way.
You know what I'm never allowed to say on the news, I can say here, which is talk your shit, Eric.
No, listen, you do enough on the news, Ari. That's why people come see you. You have got stamped because for some reason you don't hold back on the news. And you say you don't say a lot, but you say enough.
That's fair. I appreciate you saying that. I just mean I don't swear. But yeah, but we try to keep it.
Oh, no, not swearing. Forget about I don't have to curse neither. I just put it out there. But I can say whatever I want to and still make sense by just keeping it clean. I just feel like since I can curse, fucking let's do it.
Yeah, we are IG Live. No, I appreciate all of that, man. I love this. And again, I'll just tell people before we sign off here, this came about because Erick was willing to jump on here, and I'm speaking as Ari Melber through Nevuary Radio, my Apple Music show. For folks who are interested, you could go on there. You can see the whole hour, because what we're talking about here, including some of the backstories, Erick tells a story about using how he used and flipped Eric Clapton, shot the Sheriff song, the old times with Reggie.
Hey, listen, one thing you bring up too about EPMD. Yeah. People didn't understand how EPMD worked. I sampled in my career Eric Clapton, David Bowie, ZZ Top, Steve Miller Band. All these songs that, being from where I'm from, Brooklyn, Long Island, we grew up white, black, and Puerto Rican. So I almost sampled Godzilla by Blue Oyster. All these songs are in my head, Ari, so I knew them. So when you hear these songs inside my music, it's like, yo, how was EPMD so different? We was different like that because we grew up that way. So all this music we was able to infuse in our sound. I wanted to get that out there. That's all.
100. I'm glad you got that out there. I mean, that's why culture is the conversation. When it's done right, it's done with respect and dialogue, right? And so of course you're shouting that out, and then we're hearing the music. And then when artists understand it the right way, particularly old school, it's like you get fresh again because you're being played again. I mean, we got old Jay-Z songs that like Dave East and Drake are flipping like they're oldies the same way Diddy.
Isn't that crazy?
It's fun.
That's crazy.
But that was always the case. That's why we get stuck in our own moment in time. So that's all I wanted to say to tell people.
Okay.
You can follow Nevuary.
Check out Ari's show.
What's up?
Listen, he's on Apple Music. Check out his show. Give him the show real quick, Ari.
And Erick, I hope it's Nevuary Radio at Nevuary Radio on IG, which is what you see up there in the corner. And Erick, I hope if you leave, you said some great stuff. So I hope when we sign off, I hope you leave this up on your page so some other people can hear it over time.
Okay, how do I do that?
All right, watch everybody. We're about to do a little tutorial. When you hit the X and the thing ends,
right,
up with like a little black screen, and you can either X out of that, don't do that, or you can hit save to IGTV. And it should look,
I didn't know that.
You hit save to IGTV, which is just a fancy way of saying it'll be a video on your page for however long we talk, and then it just stays up. And you can title it, Erick breaks down the business, or whatever you title it, back to business. I know business is a term that gets used a lot around these, back to business, strictly business, Instagram business. You title it what you want, Erick, but leave it up so people can hear that, because I think you said some great stuff. And then everybody else, Erick's been on the beat before. We'll have him back, so I can't wait to get you on the
beat. So me and Ari met on the actual show on MSNBC. I was up there with him and I see Tony a lot. You like Tony. Yeah. He's always in the show.
Yeah, you did. Your fallback was it with Tony Schwartz?
Yes.
Yeah, was it? I mean, that guy, he's like a rapper. He won't stop.
He doesn't stop. All right, Ari, appreciate it, man. God bless.
Appreciate you, Erick. Appreciate you, everybody. Peace.
All right.
Bye.
One love. All right, everybody. That was dope. I'm gonna say what's up to everybody too, but people still on. Don't forget about that, man. Like I said before, I don't want to feel like I'm ranting as far as on the new era of the game, but it's not even about that. Like I was just like saying that back then we had Biz Markie doing the Biz Dance. We had the Pee Wee Herman. We had Luke Skywalker. We had, Two Live Crew. And we had, Whoop There It Is. We had all that stuff, but it was a mixture of Outkast coming from here. And we had a mixture of, Texas, and everybody was doing them. Right now we have this one category and this one conversation. And that's what makes it kind of like, just not exciting, man. I watch kids when they hear something new. They like it. Y'all not giving them an opportunity to like something new. But they like it when they hear it. My son was singing, "Today Was a Good Day" in the car when I had it on XM. He knew every word. I'm like, wow, how you know? You know what I'm saying? In my head though, but they like it. And they don't know how much of an influence music is to these children. When I start preaching, just saying like, yo, man, like I can't govern my kids 24 hours a day. And I can't check them all the time. And you wonder why they act in a certain way or they look in a certain way. And little kids is on there on TV twerking, and y'all parents don't think there's nothing wrong with that, like, because it's fun to y'all. Nah, it looks crazy. It looks crazy that they out there young like that shaking butt. And you got little boys doing it too. Like, yo, we have to wake up for a second, man. You know, you want somebody to respect us, but we can't respect ourselves. You can't don't be mad when somebody is looking at you crazy and talking to you down, and you wondering why they doing that, and you doing the same thing to your own people. Like, don't be mad at somebody else by just be like, oh, people be like, oh, well, I don't care if we say it to each other. No, that's stupid. That's dumb. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Again, man, you get to a point where I know that we kings and queens. If y'all know that King Tut and Pharaoh and them, those were kings and queens, you know. These wasn't, you know, you go back to Paris and the days of overseas, they had black presidents, man. They had, you know, we wasn't just, you know, the history would tell you his story, and, you know, you have to understand, start respecting yourself, respecting each other, you know, because right now we is in a bad place, worse than ever. And maybe I'm saying this because, again, as much death as we had around the world, and the much death as I've seen or that's close to me, make you feel a certain way, but we're smarter than that. We're bigger than that too, you know. Without us, this world would be black and white. We make it colorful. Immigrants make the world colorful. We wouldn't have Chinese food. We wouldn't be eating, you know, Italian food. You wouldn't be eating, you know, Brazilian food or you know, or kosher food, whatever, without having immigrants or having the world look like this. It's colorful because for a reason. So for those people who saying, you know, it should be this one way how? You know, even they come from immigration or come from another country to come here. But you want to disrespect us? It's crazy, man. This is a whole backwards. It's backwards. It's like really backwards. It's insane. I see y'all, man. Yeah, Busta Rhymes album is crazy. It's dope. I talked to Busta the other night. You know, Bus was able to do something in hip hop that we needed, because I was able to drop Vernia last year, and to get the response I had, I knew that hip hop was still alive, and it was going to be a situation where we was going to be able to still make noise in here. And my promotion wasn't as big as, you know, usually, and Busta Rhymes was able to bring in the boom back in a bigger fashion with a bigger promotion, and for people to hear it, and it makes people who still do beats and production, and people who still love hip hop, to be able to look forward to new stuff that's coming on. You know what I mean? That's Trizzy Track, what up? The dope beat maker. That people are still, Jack Thriller, what's up? People who are still out here doing hip hop. Lord Finesse, what's up? Word up, you know. Don't try ever stop doing hip hop, man, ever. We are still here. People aren't dead. People still like the culture. People still like R&B. People still like it. The mainstream might tell you that this might be something that's a lie, man. That's all a lie. If you can still get busy, then still get busy. Don't let none of these people tell you you can't do it, or only you can end yourself, or only you can tell yourself that you're over. Only the higher power can tell you that you're over. Nobody can tell you that you're over. These young kids is mad. Tell them to step their game up. I've been talking a lot, y'all. Sorry about that. Listen, the Dynamic Duos coming next year. Trust me, it's something you want to hear about. This is insane, incredible. Insanely incredible. Dynamic Duos. I start letting some artwork out soon, and giving you a track list soon on the Dynamic Duos. I start giving that out there too the first week of January, so I can keep y'all abrupt so y'all won't forget about the album coming. All right. Thanks for those. Yo, Hakeem, what up? Thanks for y'all. Hand the pump is everywhere. Thanks for y'all stopping by, man. I don't see Kim Sermon on here. Yo, Lil John, what up? The best drummer in the planet. Yeah. Milan, I see you. Boogie Down Queens, I see you. Ty Banks, I see you. Okay. That's it, y'all. We had a good time. We had a good time. Hey, Jack, when you're when the COVID stops, I'll be up there with you. I promise. All right. Yeah, when COVID is over, it's gonna be dope again in the city. Trust me. It's gonna be some shows. Hey, Tracy. You and Dallas on going to the bike thing? Hey, Boogie, I warm the studio up so you can come back. All right. One love, y'all. Peace. I don't know what he said to do. I can't do it. Sorry, Ari. I couldn't figure it out.